Hi. I don't think I have made a video explaining how much I enjoy being a girl. Yeah, I don't. Um, that's not to say I don't like guys. I do like guys, but I do not enjoy being a girl. Part of me really wishes I was born a boy. Not because I feel like a boy, no. Because being a girl sucks. The only thing I can recommend as far as saying this is the awesome part of being a girl is when you're pregnant and you're feeling the baby moving. When the baby moves, that's the awesome part. Everything else pretty much sucks balls. We're weaker. I mean, you can take just about any woman and the scrawniest, skinniest man, and he can probably overpower her if she's not specially trained. Um, then there's the menstruation, which starts at 13, if you're lucky. Mine started at like 8. Um, Now I'm 41 and I am sick of it. I am done having babies. Having tubes tied and everything. I am done. Not that I didn't want any more. It's just that don't need any more. I got 3. Um, and I am done. Now the only babies I'm gonna be taking care of will be grandbabies. So, then there's that whole thing about the whole childbirth thing. Sucks. I mean, it doesn't matter which way you slice it, whether you go with um, pushing the baby out or getting your belly cut open, it's gonna suck. It's gonna suck days, weeks later. I mean, like if you push a baby out, you can't sit for a while without going, ugh. And it's the same way. I mean, I thought I felt bad, but I went and, sorry, my eye is itching. I must have petted Lexi. So, I felt bad the first baby I had that I couldn't sit until I saw the women that had had C-sections, and I was like, okay, I'm not in as much pain. No, no. And then you add to all of that stuff hormones, as if things ain't bad enough. You got hormones that make you like when you get home. I don't care how much your family does for you. You're gonna feel like they don't do enough. They suck. I have to do everything. I can't get a couple of days rest after popping a baby out. It sucks. And then, like with my first kid, probably the scariest thing with my first kid is I had a hormone surge after I had her. And at the same time, like I remember I woke up and it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I started to say, oh, I'm having an anxiety attack. So I started having an anxiety attack. And at the same time I was having an anxiety attack, I felt this pain shoot straight up into my spine and land in my head. I had a migraine for 6 weeks. And that's after I had to get my mom to take me to the hospital. They gave me a couple of shots of Demerol to take the edge off. And so I was afraid when I had my other 2 kids that was going to happen. Thankfully, that didn't. I had what my grandma called it a clamp headache or a cluster headache. I've never had one like that. And oddly enough, after that happened, I haven't had a migraine since. Used to get them all the time. But I remember looking at this little kid and thinking, I got to take care of her. And anxiety attack and hormone surge. And woo, that was not a fun night. Um, so we got all these hormones that like to act up. And then, like, see where I'm at right now, since I got the tubal ligation, I still get to have periods. I don't want them. I don't need them. So my insurance won't pay for a depot shot to stop them because I had the tubal. And that's okay. You know, I talked to, I asked my gyno, hey, how much is that? It's like $160 every 3 months. And I was like, well, I can't afford that. I got 3 kids. um, so then she's like, well, there's this thing called ablation where they basically like burn the inside of your uterus. There's like, I think there's 3 different ways to do that. And she's like, that can knock them out completely. It's better than getting a hysterectomy, which sends you into instant menopause, which, another joy that all women have to look forward to is menopause. And do you know what one of my anxiety triggers is? Hot flashes. I am not looking forward to that. So I should at least get a few years where I feel fine, you know. So with the ablation thing, they wanted my doctor to show that my iron is low. And of course, every time I go to the doctor's like, "Hey, we checked your iron. How are you standing?" And they write me out for iron pills. And every time I go back, I say, "Hey, will you send the results to my OBG or to my gynecologist so that I can have this procedure done?" And every time they say, "Well, let's see if we can get your iron up." I'm like, "Come on, this is why. I'm suffering." If I was a dude and my dick didn't work, they'd be like, "Hey, let us install a pump. We got to get your dick back to standing hard." You know, like that's something somebody actually needs. You're not going to die if your dick can't get hard. Just like I'm not likely to die because I menstruate. I'm just likely to pass out because I menstruate so much that my iron goes down. I can sit here and eat red meat all day long, every day, and once a month, that iron level is going to go straight down, plummeting. Because any of the ladies who bleed heavy, and I mean, I'm talking, I have always had to use a tampon and a pad, which now I've switched to the cup, but it's still a cup and a pad. I mean, we're talking, when I was on tampons, it was Super Plus, and I was going through a good 15 of them a day. It ain't a joke. Still not as bad as what my daughter goes through. My 13-year-old bleeds so much that she can soak through like an overnight pad in 15 minutes. It's scary. I'm scared. So she gets the depot shot at 13 because that's just scary. what she does is very, very scary. And plus the hormone thing, she's got oppositional defiant disorder. We really don't need her hormones going crazy too on top of that. So, I mean, but there's all these things about being a girl that just suck. And even, legislation sucks. Some insurance companies won't pay for birth control. There's religions that, religions, oh my God, religion has always been anti female. I mean, look at how women are always portrayed. Now, granted, women are sneaky. We are evil to a degree. Like if you piss one of, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. It's because we don't have brawn. And some people I know aren't fortunate enough to have brains either. But still, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to come up with an evil way to get back at somebody. And spite is like part of every woman's bag of tricks. Spite. I mean, I guess one of the advantages we do have is we cry a lot, and the men get really weird about crying. Like they really hate it. Like they don't know what to do with themselves. They're like, no, 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 stop, 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 stop. They just don't. I mean, until you get around an asshole, or somebody who's used to you crying all the time and they don't like the hysterics. That's why, it's kind of a good thing if you don't cry a whole lot, because when you do cry, then the men folk around you know that they really fucked up. They're like, oh no, I made her cry. That one doesn't cry when the dog dies, but I made her cry. So we do get a little leeway for crazy, and a little leeway um, for like it makes men really uncomfortable when we cry. Other ladies, it's hit and miss. Sometimes they get it, and then they'll be like, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to mess up your day, stop crying, please, I'm sorry, and then they'll start crying too. Um, but that's about the only thing I can think of that's like and then the whole like feeling the baby move thing, that is like so fucking cool. But, and I was fortunate to not get morning sickness. Nausea is a big trigger for me, so I would have been extra miserable during pregnancy if I would have had it. I think I only got sick when I was pregnant with Tyrion once, and that was because I had tamales for breakfast. And I had tamales for breakfast because that was all that there was in the house. Because I was, we were really, really poor at the time. Like, really, really poor. Like I said, the only thing was like an old can of tamales in the thing. So and then you also look at like guys like big boobs and stuff. Those hurt your back, and they hurt. I mean, in general, sometimes I'll go to heft these girls up into a bra, and I'll go, ooh, that hurts. It's like that's sore. It's it's no fun being a girl. And then, in society, there are so many things that are expected of women, shave your armpits, shave your legs, put on makeup, dress nice, because like some women, they're like, oh, there's no way I'd be caught dead with my hair up in a ponytail and wearing my pajamas out in public, because society tells us that that's not how a young lady goes out dressed. You have to look at how you're dressed, how, like if you don't wear makeup, then they're like, oh, you'd be so pretty if you put on some makeup. And it's like, well, you know what? You can put a pig in makeup and it's not going to be pretty. It'll just be a pig in makeup. So if I'm ugly without makeup, I'm not going to be any prettier with makeup. And fuck all those things where they do that and then they come back all pretty. No, that ain't happening. I don't do makeup like that. I suck at it. So I just choose not to wear makeup. I'm actually more self-conscious about how I look with makeup on than without. And as I said before, I am like so no maintenance that I'm not going to worry about it. And it's expensive, you know. I mean, anybody who says that, but society expects you to spend that money. You know, the women that most women want to really look like are very high maintenance. They get their hair done, that you're looking at anywhere from 80 on up to get your hair done. Then there's the nails. You're looking at least $35 to get your nails done. And I say 35 conservatively because if I go get mine done, it's 25 and I tip the lady 10, which I feel bad about because I know that other people tip them more. You got to have mani, pedi, you got to go to the gym, because a lot of women will hear, oh, well, if you'd lose 15 pounds, you'd be quite nice looking. Um, you know, you look, if you're even slightly overweight, who are you looking towards in Hollywood? Who are the big actresses that are bigger? And then when you see the ones that are big, their weight is an issue. Because even, what's her name? Shit. I'm normally really good with names. Amy, something or other. She's kind of a bigger girl. But her weight is always a source of comedy for the movie, for all of her stuff. She never portrays herself as perfect and gorgeous and everything, even though she is in her own way. And see, I say in her own way because society has told me that she needs to lose weight, and honestly, she looks good at her size. You know, I mean, she does. I'm sure that she get hit on even if she wasn't famous because she is funny and she's got kind of a craziness about her. But society expects these things of us. They don't expect men to shave, put on makeup. Um, their hair has to be done. Maybe they expect like their beards to be somewhat groomed. You know, like if a guy grows a beard, it needs to be kind of groomed. But there's lots of women that find the Duck Dynasty boys sexy with their beards, and I'm like, no, not me. No. Um, Guys don't really have to do any of that, you know, and you see it on TV all the time. You know, you'll have some ordinary looking guy, and his wife is kind of hot. I mean, she'll never be like the wives on the commercials are not like Angelina Jolie or Megan Fox hot, but they're good looking woman next door women that are fit. You know, there's just so much put on women to be a certain way. And God forbid, like if you go through a divorce and the woman gives the husband the kids, oh, the other moms just trash her like, how could you give up custody of your kids? You're their mother. And it's like, well, why is it okay for the dad to give up custody of the kids to the mom, but it's not okay the other way around? Why does that make her look bad? You know, when she's decided, well, they can live with their dad and I'll get them on weekends. You know, because maybe she wants to live the kind of lifestyle that half-time dads get to live, you know. It's like, well, gee, you know, what's wrong with that? But society says that women are supposed to be taking care of their kids. And, you know, so it's difficult to be a girl. There is a lot to be um, self-conscious about, to feel like you don't add up, you know. And then there's the whole mom thing. When you're a mom, you know, you see all these other moms that got these perfect kids, you know, like these. I have never had like really clean, well-groomed kids. I mean, they've always been clean, but like well-groomed, no. But I'll see these moms and they got like these kids and their hair's all perfect, and their clothing is just so, and I'm like, how do you do that? My kid puts on a shirt and like 5 minutes later, there's a stain on it. I don't know how you do it. I try to put my kid's hair up in a ponytail, and 5 minutes later, it's all kinds of sideways, and you know, and well behaved. Oh my God. You know, those people never have like, their kid like never has a meltdown in public, whereas me, I've got mine by the hand and I'm dragging her through the store while she's screaming her head off that she hates me and somebody kill her now, you know. And they judge. Oh my God, when my kid would throw a fit in the store, my middle one, I was so embarrassed. And then I would have people come up and go, well, they'd come up to and talk to Isabel and say, well, Isabel, you know, what's wrong, baby? You know, and then they'd get her to calm down, and then they'd look at me like, yeah, see, I got your baby to stop crying. And I'm like, yeah, you just, no, you didn't fix shit. You know, they're acting like that. And it's like, no, you don't understand. Her problem isn't what she wants and you just gave her. Her problem is she hates me and likes to do that to me. You know, at the time it was like you don't understand. You know, she's just throwing a fit and she does this. No matter what I do, she's not going to act right for me. She'll act right for you because I'm raising her right. She knows how she's supposed to act. She just won't act that way with me. You know, that's how it always was. But people give you that unsolicited advice about stuff, and then other people are looking at you like, why are you even in the store with a kid acting like that? And it's like, because I need to buy stuff and I got this kid with me. You know. And but you know, there's always so much judgment, whereas if a dad is going through a store with a screaming kid like that, The women are all like, oh, poor guy. He's having so much trouble with that kiddo. That kiddo just must be tired. You know, they don't get those looks like you're a bad dad. You can't control your kid. You know, your kid's in here screaming and hollering. No, they just feel bad for him that he's saddled, you know, like where's her mom? Why isn't their mom with them? Their mom needs to be taking care of them. You know, it's and the thing is it's like, hey, why is it less bad for the kid to be throwing a fit with dad than throwing a fit with mom? Like I said, there's always this double standard, and it always seems that women are not subject to the rules that to the advances that men are. And I'm not talking about in the workforce, because some of us cannot do what the men do. Some of us don't want to do what the men do. And I don't see much in my workings where I have worked and what I have done. There hasn't been much any discernible difference that I could see on the men getting treated better than the women in the workplaces that I was in. You know, it was all just, you're just disposable bodies. You know, the corporations were like, you know, we don't care about you, you're replaceable. You know, they don't. But the guys got paid the same as me and were treated the same. Like shit. You know, whether the female lawyer makes as much as the male lawyer, I don't know. Maybe she does. Maybe it isn't that she's female that she's making less than this male. Maybe he's a better lawyer. Maybe he knows how to work the politics better. You know, because pay raises and stuff at companies and positions and stuff like that, a lot of that goes with your charisma. So, okay. So that's me tonight. Have a great night. I hope that some women do enjoy being girls. I sure shit don't. But not a man. Didn't have a choice. So here it is. Have a good night.